Hello everyone, my name is SLEsanduYT and today I'm going to be making a simple clicker game in Scratch. Yes, you heard it right. Simple. That's the key word. Simple. Actually, I lied. Look, I thought this was going to be a simple game that I can make in an hour, so I can record it and upload it to YouTube. But no. What I ended up creating was a big adventure waiting for me to traverse it. And I still haven't seen the end yet. So sit back and relax while I tell you the tale of how I got into this situation. It's a beautiful day outside. Birds are singing, flowers are blooming. On days like these, what was I doing? Playing video games, obviously. But here's the thing. I haven't uploaded to my YouTube channel in a long time. I want to start making videos again. I want to make videos about game development stuff. But I just didn't know what kind of video to make. Should I make a video about making games? Tips and tricks? Logic? The thing is that I was actually working on another game in Scratch at this point. But it was so much into development by now, and I didn't want to make a video about me explaining what I've been doing for the past few weeks, because that would take a lot of time. So, one day, I decided that I'm going to finally record another video after not recording for 2 years. I'm going to make a simple clicker game. All you have to do is to click the balloon to score points. That's it. Then I am going to edit it the best I can. Then I'll upload it. That's the game plan. So I booted up OBS Studio and Scratch Offline Editor and got to work. I mean, it looks kinda cool. As you can see, instead of just putting the score variable normally like most people do, I actually took time to make some adjustments to the background. I also made it look like the cloud and the bushes are a little animated, and also made a balloon popping animation. I mean, it is still really boring and annoying because you have to click the balloon with your cursor and you only have 1 second to do it, but it was okay for now. So I opened up my newly created Scratch account, which was created 2 weeks ago, uploaded and shared my project. I also went around Scratch looking at other projects, and then I saw something. Most of the projects were really old, and instead of comments like maybe giving feedback or something like that, most of the comments were people advertising and begging people to play their projects. If you're new to the online Scratch community like me, this is something to look forward to. Since I didn't know it at the time, I thought this was how you're supposed to get views. So I copied my link and commented on a project. But after doing some research, I realized that this was a very pitiful way of promoting your game. So all you need to know is that from now on, the way I promote my game is by adding it to as many studios as I can. Also, I started playing other projects and giving feedback to others because I wanted that Scratcher role. So it is done, right? I did what I wanted to do. I made a simple game. So this is the end, right? Well, not exactly. You see, after I made that game, my mind started flooding my brain with more cool things to add to this project. Stuff like upgrades, levels, and even boss fights. If I could implement those ideas, this game could be a really cool game. So, do I abandon that idea and work as I originally intended? Should I just forget about all of that and proceed to making a video? No, I refuse to do it. So I decided that I'm going to keep working on this project, adding more and more cool mechanics and making a full game. Then I can start making devlogs out of it, which will help me to motivate me to keep working on this project. So that night, I went to sleep thinking about what I was going to do tomorrow. Day 2. Today I started by making some new sprites for my games. I already had a software named Krita to make them, but it was still a little bit confusing. So I made them in MS Paint. I replaced the balloon sprite with the one that I made on my own, and instead of clicking the balloon to pop them, now just touching the balloon with your cursor will pop them. This was much more better and satisfying than having to click every single balloon within a second. Alright, before we continue from here, I want to do a small description of my game so you can better understand what I'm going for. Basically, your goal is to pop the balloon to score points. Then you can use those points to buy upgrades and you get even more points. But there's also a slight issue. You see, your nemesis, the Cactus family, okay, hear me out, doesn't like what you're doing and will try to stop you. They will shoot cannons of cacti and throw spike balls at you. I don't have a lot of lore build right now, so that's what we are working with for now. So everyone, please give your warm welcome to the first member of the Cactus family, Cactus Baby. Really creative name, huh? He looks just like a baby. But seriously, it's not the best name for an evil creature who tries to kill you. But I think it's funny, so I'm keeping it. Every 30 points you get, Cactus Baby will show up and shoot a cacti bullet that follows your cursor for a while. If you get hit, you will lose points. The more points you get, he's going to shoot more cacti bullets and they will get faster. This is going to be the main gameplay loop of this game. More and more characters with different mechanics will show up, and you will have to avoid it to not get a score penalty. Then I took a small break, and when I came back, someone actually liked my project and followed me. So that's kinda nice. I also made a thumbnail image for my game and made it pop up when the stop sign is clicked. Later I kinda felt bad because I forgot to record how I designed the sprites. So that same day I recorded myself making more sprites to use the next day. Now introducing the next member of the Cactus family, Medi. See, really creative choices of words. I also designed some other sprites too. Today I added slightly slowed version of the pop sound effect to make it sound a little better. I also implemented the upgrade system. Purchasing these upgrades will give you more points for each balloon you pop. When I was implementing this feature, I came to a small problem. You see, Cactus Baby was supposed to appear every 30 points. But with the new upgrade system, giving 10, 15, 25 points per balloon, Cactus Baby has a really low chance of appearing. So, to fix that, I made it so that instead of waiting until a multiplication of 30, Cactus Baby will wait until some time, right now it's 20 or 25 seconds, until he appears again. I also gave him a new attack. Now, he will shoot a cacti bullet that goes straight instead of following the cursor. I also had to rework the penalty system a bit, but I'm not happy with how it turned out, so I'll have to fix it later. After all of that, it's finally time to add Medi into the game. Instead of shooting bullets, Medi will move a spike ball through the screen. He will seem like a joke at first, but hopefully he will become really annoying when paired with Cactus Baby. I also made it so that the color of the background changes slowly, so it looks like a day and night cycle. Also while working, I noticed that even though the bullets were hidden, when you touch them, you lose points. My initial solution for this was to hide it in a corner, but still it doesn't work. So instead of running away from my problems, I actually took time to make a solution. Now, I'm using variables to keep track if the bullet is hidden or not. You will only get a penalty if you are touching the bullet and the hide value is set to 1, which means it's not hidden. This means now I don't even have to tuck it in away in the corner. It's still in the early phase and I think I can improve it by using list. Okay, whatever. Arrays. I'm just gonna say arrays. Okay. So yeah, using arrays. So we'll probably need to look into that later. So that's it for today. As I thought to myself, I saved the project and updated the instructions menu and what? What do you mean that's a bad word? So I kept changing words and letters, and by trial and error, I found out the bad word was Medi. Are you kidding me? How is the word Medi a bad word? So I put some quotation marks around Medi and it actually worked. Why can't the stupid bad word detector tell me or highlight what the bad word was? What's the point of the bad? What? That was kind of annoying. Anyway, you may have noticed that I also got 9 views for my project, which was a significant increase from 2 views yesterday. This will probably sound moronic in a few years. And that's all for today. The next few days, I actually didn't add anything else to the game. The next thing I wanted to add was a boss battle with Cactus Baby. So I made an animation for MS Paint because I thought you can't import animation to Scratch. But apparently you can. Okay, so the animation software I'm going to use is Krita. I am a little bit familiar with Krita now, and OpenTunes seems too complicated for me. So I'm just going to use Krita for now. Look at this. All you have to do to import this is to go here, click render animation, export it as a PNG image, and now all you have to do is literally import all these images to Scratch. You can just do this and very easily get it in. It's so much easier than I thought. So from now on, I'll be making all of my animation assets here. So anyway, I made an animation for Scratch and I made another project named Testing Playground. And I shared it because you need at least 2 projects shared if you want to get the Scratcher roll. And here's the animation that I made. It could use some improvement, but it's okay for now. Later in the day, I actually ended up getting the Scratcher roll. I also tried to make some music tracks for the very first time. I created them in beatbox.co and here are some of them. I mean, I'm kinda proud of it, but it can be much better. I should probably talk about this a little bit more, but I'm going to save it for a different video. Conclusion. As I said before, I started this as a way to start making content again. But I want to keep working on this. I love learning and trying out new things. But one of the things about me is that I'm known to abandon projects when I lose interest. So I want to change that. I want to finish it. If you watched this far into the video, thank you so much. This is the first time that I tried out something like this and this is probably the hardest I ever worked on a video. If you want to try out the game, I'll put a link in the description. Obviously it is still in its earliest phase, so it won't be that good. But if you can give valuable feedback or ideas for my game, or even on my editing, that would be highly appreciated. I'll be making more videos like this in the future, so if you want to follow my journey, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys next time.